We got us this Worth of Pala first up over on the team too. I hate that angle. It's so weird to like look at you because the camera doesn't really do super well. Dude, Justice, welcome to Jungle. Gonna be first up, is gonna be hit by Wake of Ashes, immediately stunned right after. Worth of Pala doesn't want to give him a chance to skulk behind the pillar. Hitting that boy with a big old hammer. Jungle rushing back in with a death chuck him. Just slicing and dicing right the Worth of Pala. Man did have himself a little bit of a blessing of sanctuary, just reducing his stuns. Jungle leaping in into a shield of vengeance, goes in for a trinket out of the blind. Have to go for a turtle shell, looking to get himself a bit of a reposition. Ooh, I like the Mog you got going on, by the way. I like this blue thing you got going on. Getting caught up by the Wake of Ashes, though. Better keep yourself safe, my guy. Trinket to follow. Does get himself a stun. Got himself a bit of a breather. Doesn't have to worry about a blessing of protection, lay on hands, or a spell warden for a good while. But a hammer is not going to feel good. Shadow Meld? I don't think we're able to Shadow Meld to remove the damage of that hammer, by the way. I think it's still a hit. Big explosive one to Worthless, though. Not feeling that good. Could be in that kill shot. Trying to see if he can stave off a little bit. Needs a couple more big hammers onto Jungle. Death Shock him could just be end of it. Oh my goodness. Both of them just capped each other off. Oh, man. That was fun. Actually, I kind of like when the game gets like that close to one another. You know what I mean? Well, then. There it is. Gonna be Stinky up next versus Diabolical, slowing him down with a succubus immediately. Feared to follow as Stinky charging out with a Crusade Paladin this time around. Why? Dia is Affliction Warlock now. I just noticed. I was expecting Destra, just actually Affliction. Stinky does go for the blind into the bed. Huh? I'm sorry? The man, did you just Judgment to dispel the UA? He just snapped that guy into a new dimension. I'm sorry, what? Yo, Stinky, my man, could I get some details to see exactly what killed you? He would just went from like kinda healthy to just like erased. He dispelled you away with a Judgment. How hard does that hit? They did buff it a couple of times, didn't they? Over like the last season? 243,000 dispel. Is that a crit or is just like a baseline value you're always gonna hit by? Oopsies. Yeah. Damn. You never see this. I think this is the first time we've seen a Affliction Warlock kind of one bang a Paladin with a dispel like that. It's almost never happens. And Paladins sometimes do run Judgment dispels. But usually dispels like a thing like Corruption or like a Slow or something. It almost never goes for UA. But there it is. Normal, brother. Non-crit. My goodness. Just a Warlock Affliction behavior, apparently. Mortical left onto Reverence. Got himself a bit of a dark back this time. This guy doesn't have to worry about getting anything dispelled. Got himself a silence to follow. Big old Casbolt right after. Got a bit of damage towards Diabolicals. Trying to see if he can crush it through him, but Reverence health is not really doing that good. Especially since Diabolicals can just snap his fingers and rampage those dots, make him a little bit more fierce as Reverence taking more ticks for every single one of these dots. That just erupt a lot more viciously, a lot more often on him. Reflect up for a second. Dia trying to be very careful. Mortical sent in. Soulfire, and Dia just gonna have to wall this damage as the Succubus hits him immediately. Got himself an interrupt into Reverence on the Casbolt. So at least he's got himself a bit of a breather. He does gotta get back over there to Reverence. Maintain those dots. Reverence with a wall. Reflect up for Dia. Does get to hit Reverence with a Fear Hunt right after. UA and everything is available. This is where Reverence got himself plenty of defense. Dia with the dark back. Shadow Fear to follow, making sure to maintain all the dots on Reverence. Is that going to be with the Dark Glare? Do you not play Dark Glare? Hold on, you actually hit him with Oblivion. Shadow Bolts? Is that what you're playing as bolts? Wait, you have no Dark Glare. Hold on a second. You got no Dark Glare. You got UA. You're playing random Shadow Bolt procs. You're playing Oblivion ability. Ajani just trying to see if he can hit you with a Convoke, but it looks like it doesn't work with the Interrupt Pet. Trying to see if he can set up a gateway. Does not have a port for a bit here. Dia might be in a bit of a bad spot. Got himself a shield. Battle Master Trinket. Unless he got himself something, does get himself a heal last second. Fear to follow onto Ajani could be a trinket. For Ajani, may just want to maybe stay and just trinket and stay on top of the Warlock as best as possible. UA are up and everything. Oh, Dia, not a lot of health available. Trying to go for a bit of a drain. Maybe they'll give you a bit of health. Gives you a bit of shield. Hold on a second. Mortical on the pet. Fear to follow right after. Pet. I got just called Feral Druid a pet. Oblivion to follow. Trying to see if we can nuke him down. Cyclone. It does give Dia a bit of a CC. Wait, gives you immunity while Ajani's still dying. Hold on. Ajani with a wall. Dia with a reflect. Fear trying to go for a Fear. Maybe Shadow Fury. Shadow Fury into a Fear. Hunt onto a Feral right now. All the dots are in. This is going to be enough. Got himself a big port. Lead by the Feral Druid. Dia just needs a little bit more. Does he have a Mortical? Full bleeds are up. Maim to follow. Ajani needs to kill him right now. He's still dotted though. Could be anyone's game. Convoke. Pop out of Ferrofoam so you can heal. Pop out of... Oh, he doesn't even matter. He actually lives it. That was so close. That was close. No way. That's the build I gave him. No way. Sharing with the homies is a good build. And it looks like Demonic wants to give this Feral Druid as much of an honor duel as humanly possible. Or not. Maybe he tried. He could have had Haste walk over there and heal him. But maybe he was like, you know what? What if I just put a couple of dots and he's just gonna melt? Is he gonna die to those? Yeah, he is. Answer? Yes. Yes, he is. Fire Druid, how dare you call me a pet? I swear I just called him a pet. And I didn't even mean to on purpose. I didn't mean to like, oh, let me just BM him and be mean about it. I would just like, I guess I'm so used to hunter pets. So I see a random cat running in the opposite direction from a fear. I'm like, fear the pet. It's bad. Interrupt onto Haster. He does get locked out on the holy spells, but it looks like Aegis still powers through either way though. Void Eruption is up. Demoniac does not have himself a Cloak of Shadows, trying to see if he can avoid all these eruptions, and there goes this burst for Haster. She'll be able to recover. Demoniac is vicious with his dagger strikes. He's just maintaining all of his dots. Big interrupt onto Void Torrent. That's going to be Haster with the PI. Unless he's got himself a little bit of healing, Haster could be going down here. Demonic may just have him. Stun last second. Haster no hold, but looks like the dots do claim him. I want to see this dot build with Diabolicals again. Demoniac too with them dots. The Chief is going to get hit by Ajani off the bat. Big Convoke to follow. And Chief immediately having to trinket out of this wall. Even try to go for a knockback onto Ajani with a Sunder right after. Trying to see if he can maybe get himself a bit of damage. Big Ascendance right now for Ajani. This is where panic mode should be active. Defensives should also be rolling in. Got himself emergency healing. Big damage. Chief is not looking all that good right now. Going in for a bit of a burrow. And Ajani, I think, is just trying to see if he can bail out of there. The dots are still rotting the Shaman down. It could go down in your moment, but looks like he's able to stabilize. Got himself a totem healing him. He got himself plenty of Maelstrom, plenty of mana. Can't get him back in there. Getting knocked around to the side as Chief tried to see if he could put a leash on a cat and try to take it out for a walk. If he needs himself another Ascendance proc. I think that's how he wins this. Ajani got plenty of survivability, plenty of damage, plenty of bleeds. Trying to see if he can play around the stun. Big Sunder. Feral does himself the shield with Spore Cloak activating. Might be in a really bad spot. Really tight spot. Both are super low. I think the Feral just tried to go for a bleed and run. Roll for a second. Chief needs to close the gap. Does he get to take it out right here? Maybe a second. Hold on. Convoke is out right now. Big bites. Does go for the interrupt, but the bites and the comp points may still seal his deal. Big Mame. Hold on a second. Oh, it does go for the lightning bolt at the end, but the dots are in. Oh my goodness. That could have been Aaron's game. And Stinky doesn't want to let this guy play at all. Chief is still bleeding right now. Oh my goodness. Give this man a breather. Trying to go for a last Stinker with a Wake of Ashes. Oh, the hammers at the very end. Oh my goodness. I like this, man. All of you guys being aggressive, really bursting versus each other. Big fan, honestly. Stinky trying to see if he can go for a little bit of a Shield of Vengeance. Demoniac, he knows he can play Subtlety. He doesn't even want to do it. He wants to give Assassination a go. Honestly, practicing Assassination now for the patch 10.2. That spec is looking real good. So if you're not practicing, at least not getting your chops ready, getting your rotation down, getting your buttons done. Oh, Stinky going in for a bit of a Spell Warden. The bleeds though with the death mark should still fully go through. The poisons cannot though. So I think Stinky basically has immunity with the poison damage, the nature damage. But this and Venoms are still doing a lot of work with the death mark. Oh my goodness. Doesn't up, taking him out, cutting him into pieces a little by little. Very quickly. Stun onto Demoniac. Hater trying to see if he can get some dots in with a Mindbender to follow if you got a Shadow Crash. Unless you can avoid it. Shadow Step and trying to see if he can be a little fast on his feet. Fear, that's going to be a Trinket. Void Eruption at the ready. Does attack Demoniac with the pet as well, but cannot really reach him with those Void Bolts flying out of the Void form. Shadow Priest goes in for a blind right after, but a root to follow. Demonic tried to break out of the runes. Those things actually take quite a bit of damage, and it's not able to get himself a proper reset. Got himself a Sippy Cup. No cloak, no vanish, nothing. Unless you go for kidney shot and maybe go for like slows. That's about all you can do. Try to see if you can avoid Haster. Haster does have a fear coming back up very soon. Dots are up on the Demoniac. May just be dead. Trying to see if you can put a kidney shot. Put some slows. Back away. Maybe if he just holds his breath, he'll be okay. He's just still taking down to dots. Is this over? Man, yeah. Shadow Priest dots are not brutal or anything. Not super... Oh, whoa. Okay, Diabolical setting up a gateway, but I think it's Jungle that's going to be playing. Or maybe Diabolical expected to be playing next. Not sure. Stunned immediately by Haster. As he sees a hunter charging out at him, death shock him, closes in. I think it might be one of the situations where you're looking for disperse because the damage out of jungle is massive. Haster not feeling all that good. Got himself a little bit of recovery with a desperate prayer. Looked to go for a bit of a void torrent just to get some damage in to crack through the hunter's defenses, but does get interrupted in shadow. Stun to follow. Jungle, at least he's out of offensive options for a moment. CC wise is also a little bit behind as well, just a hair. Fear onto the hunter for just a moment. Hayshu needs to get himself a much better angle. Got himself shadow crash at the very least. I don't know if Hayshu got himself a lot of damage with the ready. Mind games is gonna be big. Jungle trying to stay aggressive. Scouter to follow. All the damage he does is actually gonna end up healing Hayshu for a little bit. He's trying to see if he can supplement a lot more healing with that the vampiric embrace. Quick stun into the jungle, who does go for a feint death, just remove all the dots. Haysher might actually be in a winner situation here. Turtle out for jungle. This could be good for Haysher. Just needs a little bit more healing. Just a little bit more. Trying to see if he can attack the pet. If he can get those the damage off the pet to cleave onto jungle, that also would be good. Death shock him. Does go up. Oh my god, that gives him an opportunity to at least have himself a proper go worth going in for a couple of hammers here and there. Scatter, not enough. I think it's just over, right? One more hammer. I think it's over. Yeah, he knows. He knows it's over. He knows it is done for. Is it going to be a Volk, which is Chills? No, Dia switching now towards his side instead as a Destro Warlock. Warther was trying to see if he can close the gap. I think he was trying to see if he can maybe get himself a quick cheeky little interrupt on it. Trying not to get himself a Hodge with that reflect up for Dia. Maybe he can go for Hodge now. Does go for the Hodge. Dia is having to go for a bit of a defensive with the Succubus CC. As long as he can control the Paladin's burst by denying him a lot of that uptime while wings are up, right? Stunning him, locking him out, fearing him away, just being away from the guy. You'll minimize a lot of the value that Paladins get with that judgment or with the wings, and you'll minimize a lot of the damage, and Paladin becomes a lot less scary afterwards. Wartha is going to be in a weird spot right now. Not a lot of line of sight to play around the tombstone, but maybe it'll be decent enough. Trying to see if you can maybe fight the Succubus as well as the Infernal. Eventually could just go for the Succubus CC. Especially as Warthros is nowhere near any pillows. Trying to see if he can maybe reposition him. Does get to avoided. Succubus CC as he finally get himself a setup. The hammer hanging over his head. He wants to maximize as much damage as he can while the hammer is active. Dia looking for a bit of a port. Again, denying a lot of the damage for Warthapala. Sees wings. He's going to try to see if he can not give him a lot of opportunity to even press buttons while wings are active. Trying to go for a bit of damage himself. Blessing of Sanctify, but I don't really know if that's going to do anything against the CC. And with the wait, Reverence is charging out on left field. Affliction? Oh, you are playing Affliction now. Okay. Reverence is Affliction this time around. Alrighty. Are you playing with a pet? You are. Casbolt getting sent there. Reverence is trying to see if he can maybe reflect some of that damage. I think was able to reflect something back into Dia. Hit him with a quick AoE fear. Does not play Mortal Call. Maybe in a weird spot. That might be weird. Reverence just needs a bit more dot damage. Dia does not have a lot of health, and Reverence is going to be able to take him down. The Affliction build that doesn't play into a what's it called? Dark Glare. That's a weird one. I kind of want to peep it. I want to see what you're running, because normally Warlocks play around the Dark Glare to extend their dots and ramp up their dots, but you're basically playing every other talent, I guess, to give you some more passive damage rather than burst damage, and it works. It actually kind of sort of works. Gonna be a slow onto Rev with Volk. It's chilled. It's chilled and Volk working chilled, same person basically, but chilled on the Shadow Priest. He's trying to go for a bit of burst versus Rev with a Shadow Crash around the corner. Does get a dodge in. Rev is not in a great spot. He needs to find a way to CC Volk. Does go in for a Reflect. It is going to go for a Fear. Dots are in. Maybe this will Volk. I probably doesn't want to go for any interrupts ever, right? Drain Life, is it enough? Oh no! Was that a Mind Games too? I think that might have been a Mind Games as well. That's just a lot of damage when you put the two together. I also like this right here. Everybody got a chance to play. Literally everybody got a chance. Always a fan of those kind of games, but that Affliction build, man, it's I kind of want to see what happens when you play first with that thing.